So fairly recently I made this video talking about potential armor and clothing skins that might appear. Basically core pieces that quite legit will complete some collections that needed skins just to be able to have all the core pieces. So what I'm talking about, Knights Templar that we showed off, Lightweight, Glister, Toy, there was another one, Renegade, that's it. So there's a bunch of collections that we showed off, but they were all armor and clothing. And some people have started to ask me, oh, can any skin be accepted for complete the sets? Technically, yes. So if you recall, if we go back to over to here, last year in September, basically we got skins as far back as 2 years before that current moment. Which, for example, that would be the Phantom Tier 3. So this actually came out on the workshop back in May 2019. And here they are on Complete the Sets week, September 9, 2021. So about 2.5 years later. So that kind of is our distance as far back as we could potentially go. So a lot of people started asking me, oh, what could we see? What could we see? So here's something I can show you now real quickly. You want to go to workshop, you want to search Rust, because there are kind of some conditions that you have to be aware of. So here I am on the front page of the Rust workshop. I want you to search for collections. Right, so now we got this, but there's a lot of strange things here. Let me help you kind of get a better idea of what we're going to search for. So one of the conditions I've noticed is all of the skins from the last year's Complete the Sets were from notable collections. So what you want to do is search for most popular, and you want to go maybe all time or 1 year. For this example, I'm going to do 1 year. So what collections have we seen in the past year? Black Gold's a good example. What else might we want to pick from over here? There is I already mentioned Knights Templar, but Spray Can collection? That's not a bad shout. Rebar collection. So I'm just picking some random things that I've seen that have appeared in the past year, and now I can look through the collections and anticipate potentially seeing something from here. Like with the Black Gold collection, which had many weapon skins accepted, some of them didn't make it through. Black Gold L96, for example. We haven't had an L96 skin since February, the Arctic update. Do you remember the Polar L96 skin? That was the last one. Maybe we'll get a Black Gold L96, you know? Just kind of take a look around, see what hasn't been accepted. Maybe. But yeah, like there's plenty of collections out there that didn't have anything accepted. Whilst there's Complete the Sets in the name, technically speaking, it's kind of more, let's just progress the sets. But you know, Spray Can Metal Double Door, Spray Can Glow in the Dark Garage Door, these things could appear. What else? Rebar collection, that came out earlier this year. Rebar Salvaged Ice Pick. We haven't had an Ice Pick skin in about 5 years. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But yeah, just look through all of the collections and get a good idea of what could maybe appear. Because there's going to be weapons, there's going to be armour and clothing, tools, what else might there be? Deployables? Yeah, you name it. But usually it would have to come from a collection that has been fairly notable or noteworthy within the past 2 years. If we do see a skin like 3 or 4 years ago, I would be very surprised. But I'm learning. Every single time we see this, we learn a bit more based on decisions. So that's all we have to reflect from is from last year. That's the only time we've had Complete the Sets. So this year we'll get a bit more of a better idea of how this might work. You know, maybe we're going to see maybe just 1 or 2 skins that came up fairly recently, and the rest are going to be very old. Maybe we might see more fairly recent skins. Maybe it's only going to be skins from the past year, as in all of 2022. I don't know. But we will learn in 2 days, and that's all we can really do. So if you're going to start asking me, oh, what might we see? You've got to put the effort in now, and you've got to start looking around, because there's so many things that could be said. But with the video that we did recently, this was fairly easy to do, with the purpose of trying to find things that were just missing one core piece to actually complete the sets. So yeah, that's basically that. I look forward to seeing what might come out, but I care more about the core sets, because that's where I'm going to make much more profits if I already own some of the things from part of those collections. But they might just turn around and bring in Skull Killer or Black Gold Tier 2. I'd rather see older things. I'd rather see older things, but we can't rule it out. There's a good chance that we're going to probably see some things fairly soon. In fact, TGG today released his top skins of the week. He even mentioned it. There's a fairly good chance that something fairly recent that come out in the workshop could appear. So there's no guarantees, but the more that you are aware of everything, the better. And like I said, we're learning all the time. If you assume there's guarantees, oh no. But yeah, I'm seeing. So I've got the chat over here. People are saying Frosty collection, Quarantine collection. I had a YouTube comment earlier. Legendary chest plate, for example. You know what? Let's just go give that a nice look. Do you remember the legendary face mask? Legendary. Yep, legendary face mask selling for around $120 each. But he's all alone, all by himself. What happened? Well, turns out he was supposed to have a nice chest plate friend that never just got in time. So earlier this year, Legendary Chestplate version 2, it did appear around May time, but it wasn't accepted. Gentlemen, our lonely Legendary Gold Face Mask needs a friend. He needs the chestplate, so that could happen, you know. It technically wouldn't complete the set, but it definitely would complete that pairing. I mean, with the video we did fairly recently showing off the armour and clothing, we just talked about the fish kilt. So maybe there could be one odd pairing of a legendary chestplate and a fish kill. We don't know. It's going to be a big surprise. So take a look around, have fun. So 2 more days to go. What are we going to see?